time. About time. You can turn your mic on.
So, how is everybody tonight?
Can wait for them to get in the chat. I'm signed on the Indie Boat Radio right now. Uh,
How many listeners we got?
as it decides to work, I'll tell you.
Your computer never works.
It's doing too many things. It's running too many programs at one time. 304.
Awesome. Hello to all our Indie Vault radio listeners. We appreciate you listening to us.
That's right, cut in the middle of your music. Hope you weren't enjoying it. I should try to schedule music around the 9 o'clock hour on Wednesday or whenever we go live. But that's too much like right. So
Yeah,
way too
that'd
much
be
like
too
right.
easy.
Yeah, that's okay.
Angry Hoes.
Foes mad. That's fine. That's fine.
It's the world to be mad in.
That's right. Anyway, yeah. So we got Rob coming in at some point today or tonight.
The Indie Devil himself with the fetish agenda.
That's right. And you guys are gonna talk yet again. Yet again. So luckily, I'll be able to keep myself out of this conversation.
No, you're gonna join it.
I want no parts
It's
of it.
gonna be a fun conversation.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. Um,
Hey Trico, how are you?
Draco.
Well, I guess I should introduce myself.
Well, you don't do that until after your intro. You haven't even run your intro yet. Look at you. You
That's
got.
your job. You run the board.
You have no sense of order. The more I teach you. Here's your intro. You can introduce yourself afterwards.
That's your job. I got severe lag on my computer. It's horrible. But anyways, hey guys, it's me Lola. Um, Tonight on GeekGasm, we were talking to the Indie Devil himself whenever he decides to make his appearance. And I'm also joined by the lovely Varian, who has a new nickname now.
Yeah. I signed up. I purchased some land over in Scotland. Just a small parcel. Not even a parcel. Very small amount of land. But I did it just so that I could claim the title of Lord. So when I get a certificate, I truly demand that everyone refer to me as Lord Varian or His Lordship. That would be fine. Regardless,
No,
you know. Yeah.
not gonna happen.
What? No, it's happening. You guys don't
No.
respect me as Reverend Varian. You will respect me as Lord Reverend Varian. It's gonna be awesome. And the minute I figure out how to put Esquire on the end of my name without actually going to law school, it's gonna be awesome. Be Lord Reverend Varian Esquire.
No, it's too many titles.
I can never have enough titles.
Yes.
Never. Except for like inmate number 92445 or something like that. It's too many. That's way too
I had
many.
a number like that before.
Mm.
I had a few numbers like that.
That's a shame. That's a shame. I've never had any numbers like that. And I apologize if anybody can't hear me. I am really under the weather, so I am. But I'm toughing it out. So I will be here for the rest of the night, and hopefully I can.
He's gonna rest after that. I'm
Yeah.
going to make sure of it.
Yeah, hopefully I can do that, and I can do indie breakfast buzz in the morning, and then after that get the rest that I need so I can get better. But yeah, that's it for me. I agree with she announced me. I'm Varian Grant. I am the co-founder of Last Call Comics. Been so for the last 8 years, and yeah. Oh, it could be the Lord of Last Call. Yeah. Yeah. He said he was afraid everyone was thinking he was crazy. No, track. The difference is they know I'm crazy, and yeah, definitely do it.
And then I'll have to get a lady one. I will. Watch me.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun if you can manage it. I mean, it's pretty fun. You don't have to do anything. Yeah,
No.
Lord Reverend Septic Septimius Esquire with 2 milk bottles, 2 milky bottles.
What are the milk bottles for?
Probably. Yeah. Well. Speak of the devil. There he is.
The devil has arrived.
Are you ready, Rock? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Come in. A high thumbs up too.
Yeah.
It'll have to be like above your head. um, yeah, I think that sometimes when especially when I do things like by I kind of became a reverend, and now this with the lordship, it's just so I can irk people and demand that I be. Oh no, he signed out. That I be called these things during I be called these things during Comic Con. Yeah, sure. Try I can send that to you. Not a problem. I haven't got mine. I haven't got my paperwork. It takes 24 hours to email it to you, and then I'm guessing a couple weeks for the actual physical
Certificate.
certificate to show up. But yeah, I want you to pay for that actual certificate. Certificate.
You gotta pay for that too?
Mm-hmm. I can just use the digital one, but yeah. Oh, yes. I heard someone coming to the chat, but I'm not there.
It's the devil.
Speaking of is he ready to come in?
I'm not sure. He has an icon now.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure if he has an icon, he's probably ready. So, Rob, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Cool, cool.
How are you tonight?
I'm all right. Doing the putting the kid to bed thing and winding down my day. How did you guys do today?
I did okay.
I fought with the kid to go to bed. I almost was late for the show because of it.
I've been there. So, Varian, what did you think of Kickstarter? Pause.
It was interesting. I do like it. I wonder how much hate mail you're gonna get. People who think that you're, being mean to their Kickstarter videos, but maybe it'll.
Oh, it was true though. That art was rushed, and
Yeah.
I don't appreciate rushed art. It's not wasn't about his skill level. He could do better if he paced himself.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't pace himself, and that was the problem. And that always makes me think this guy was just like you said. You even said it. He rushed the book to market.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you make us all look bad.
Yeah, he want. People are making money right now. He wanted a piece of it, so he rushed that book out. It probably didn't take him longer than 2.5, maybe 3 weeks tops. And really, I would tell anybody who is doing that, who is putting out a book, and who is rushing it to market, you might you might make some money off your friends, might make some money off people who don't know, but they're not gonna. Your family, they'll pick up. Your family support you for $5 at a time. Anything to keep you out of trouble. They'll give you. Oh, your book is $5. Sure, I'll give you $5. I'll give you $10. I'll give you. I'll give you $20. But the fans, the people who you're gonna have to rely on, are not gonna come back for seconds. especially when they figure it out. You know, I've lost respect for people who I found out don't even really care about this industry. They only care about, you know, getting a getting a new book out or getting the book out so they can get some money. They don't. They haven't read a single comic book arc. They haven't read a single. Randy's better than a week and a half. Yeah, they haven't read a single comic book arc. They don't. They haven't watched any cartoons from, you know, the things that made us geeks. They don't share those same qualities, and so you start. I'm not saying we need to do purity tests. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm starting to say, you know, I guess when you see people rushing because there's gold in the hills, and they're running up here, you know, shaking the whole industry down for whatever they can get. A book like that, you know, I mean, the cover looks nice, and I think that's what he's planning on people really checking out. Is the cover to that book. Every con that I go to, when I set my books out, I put a reader copy out, and I put the bagged versions up. And the bagged versions are, you know, for that's what I sell. But I have a copy for there for you to look through. You know, look through the art. I don't want you to, you know, open up the book and realize you hate it all. Now, do they submit those videos to you, Rob, or do you just find them?
No. Everyone has to ask to be part of that show. So, and when we first started the Kickstarter show, we even kind of told people that we would start a reviewing format, and no one cared. I mean, no one's really gotten upset because I don't think even today, it was a bit rough. It was honest, but it didn't talk about how bad the creator was. It just was honest that the creator clearly had rushed it, and it wasn't that this kid couldn't do it. It's that this kid needs to slow down.
Yeah.
And that's about a community. And you know how I am about community. And I think community needs to stand up to standards all over the board. And some of that sometimes calling people out when they're making a mistake because you're trying to help them. When you don't yell and say, hey, you're about to screw up, that's when you've given up on someone.
Yeah.
There are just things I won't cover because I think the quality is so low. His passion is there, so it's allowed on our site. But I've kicked other Kickstarters off being, nope, your quality's not there. Get out of here.
Yeah, they just don't. They don't care. They don't. They just. It's money, and I'm not saying that's his case. He could just be excited, but
did you read what he wrote? Did you read the update?
No.
Oh yeah, he actually reached out and talked to us about it.
Okay.
Here, I'll call it up real quick. It was on the video, and he understood it. And his argument was that he did it because he likes the story, and I can understand that he liked the story, so he put something out there. So what he said exactly was, thank you all so much for the feedback. I had changed the name from Transformer to Cold Blooded, and I'm sure he did that because Transformer especially, there's two ways that can go bad. First off, you can get sued because of Transformers the toy. Like, that's not a good look. And the second thing, just calling it trans right now, it's kind of a loaded gun if you're not the Transformers, because you don't know how people will respond to that. So it's probably better to stay away from it. But yeah, there it goes. He switched the name and never explains it. And he does say that there's a story behind it in his update. But if you're not reading an update, you might not notice that. And he said, I realize if most people just skim the page they don't want to read, they won't know that the name was changed, so I took them down. If you are apprehensive about the art, I do believe the story and action has merit. Jackson, relax. And you can read it all for free here. So he puts his money where his mouth is, and he has a webtoon that he's been doing. And I did get to look at some of the webtoon, and again, some of the art in the webtoon was just better than what we were seeing. So he might have just chosen some bad stuff, and he might get there. And I'll drop you the link right now so you guys can actually see it.
What book are you talking about?
It's Cold Blooded. It's a book from a guy. He's got it on Kickstarter. It's currently funding. I forget how many days it had left, but the art that we seen this morning was a little. This afternoon was a little rough. I was on the fence about whether or not I would back it. But Rob, I seen something else, and I guess I'll ask Lola how she feels about that. But I noticed that people were doing a lot of PDFs again, which I feel I'm totally against putting PDFs in a Kickstarter just because I'm afraid that that's going to open up the door to piracy. But excuse me, the other issue is people are putting out 100-page PDFs for like $10. Hey, check my PDF out. That's ridiculous.
Why do you think it's ridiculous?
Uh,
Just that you're you being a fan, and that's a
uh,
lot for you to read.
yeah, I'd rather have it in a book in my hand. That 100-page PDF. First of all, it's gonna take a room. It's gonna take up room on like a tablet or whatever it is you're trying to put it on. Because I've been talking to people, and a lot of people just don't own desktop or laptop computers anymore, which is odd. Unless they're like semi-professional in this industry or whatever, then they might have a laptop or a desktop. But a lot of people just do not have um, a computer in their home anymore. Or a laptop. They may have a laptop and they haven't opened it in months, but their main, computing machine is a tablet or a of their phone. So when I start thinking, okay, well, someone's gonna email you a PDF, most people are gonna open it up on their Kindle or on their their iPad or whatever you may have. But
I opened Rob's PDFs on my phone.
you say you open on your phone.
I did.
So yeah, so imagine.
I looked at Rob's books on my phone.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I read a lot of them on my phone, and you have to understand, I'm given a book a week at least to look at sometimes. So having the physical books and just I got used to it. I'm with you. I'd rather the book in my hand. I don't think, especially with my dyslexia, I don't think I absorb as much if I don't have it in my hand. But I can look through a book and you can see, even with just the art, I see small things that are wrong with the book, and that takes me out of it. And he needs a mentor. That kid basically needs a mentor. But to your point about a PDF, I hear you, but in the end of the day, you're never going to stop piracy. But what you will do is stop people becoming a fan of you if you don't offer a PDF. You can put out a low-res PDF, and this was a mistake I made specifically early in my career. I was putting out print quality PDFs, but you can put out one that cannot be printed. If they tried to print it, it would look horrible because your digital screen can accept things that that print can't accept. So put out a lower res PDF. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I thought about that. Low res PDFs could work out.
I don't know.
Hmm?
When I do my book, I don't think I'm gonna do a PDF tier.
Understand for fetish babies and Barbara Unleashed. I mean, it's not a lie to say we raised thousands of dollars by PDF because people didn't want that book delivered, and for you, that might be a consideration because they're just nervous that something like that winds up in the mail and they open it up and suddenly, uh-oh. So there's a nervousness to it. So you might want to just think of that too. I do understand. I used to be against PDFs too until I finally realized there's money in it. So remember, you have to make a PDF no matter what.
Yeah.
There's no extra work. I mean, if you make the low res, it takes 2 seconds to set a file to lower res. But beyond that, it's all profit now. And
Yeah, but the book that I'm going to do, not the one I talked to you about, but I'm doing a different one, is probably going to be about 150 pages, if not more.
yeah, I wouldn't do that. I'm with Larry. Over 80 pages, you really shouldn't be doing too many PDFs. Like even if I do a trade for Barbara Unleashed, I won't put the trade as a PDF. I'll put the single issues as a PDF instead of the trade, and I'll make the trade a print exclusive, just to make something. Because I don't think I'm with Varian. I don't think people will enjoy, and they won't finish a solid 100-page PDF. They'll meet to life will get in the way, and they'll never finish it. So I do agree with you. If you're going to put that many pages in, it is better to get just a print.
Yeah, I mean, I got a problem finishing. I don't know how many pages it is, but I got a thick, 3 thick Walking Dead compendiums, and I have issues finishing getting through chapters of those because it's like there's just so much content there. Hey, Glenn, how's it going tonight?
How are you, Glenn?
Yeah, I just don't know about finishing those huge, big compendium books. So, you send me a 100-page PDF, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, and I get it. I mean, that is a lot to get for $10, and I do appreciate people giving you that option. But Oh, it's just a lot of content. What's odd though, and this is gonna sound really weird, I probably would accept it if it were like in some type of actual like comic page format, like it was programmed to where I could turn the pages and sites, and I know you can for the most part on some PDFs you can do some things like that, but yeah, I would probably really like it if I would be more accepting of a 100-page PDF if it were programmed to where it kind of made me feel like I was still reading a comic book.
That makes sense.
Glenn, they just popped in to say hi. Appreciate that, Glenn. Anytime you want to pop in and just drop us a line.
Always enjoy the company.
So, Rob, you got you today. You showed your new book. With your survey. You had a mock up of the survey now.
Well, no, that was an official release of the beta book.
Okay.
So we are the Kickstarters for the remainders of the beta book, and we're releasing and you saw the cover to the official release.
Mm-hmm.
So this was actually just the cover we have now is CB Zane giving it to me without colors. Because I asked him, "Do you have it in a file?" He's like, "Yeah, I do. Don't worry, I'll just send it to you." So that wound up becoming our quick cover. But I always wanted to go with that other one, and then of course I have Mike Seeley doing one for me for that. So those two are going to be launched, and the betas will wind up being something I sell like relatively cheap. I'll probably put them down like $5 a shot at a almost 40-page book. That's a good deal, and I'll just liquidate the rest of the betas, and then we'll make slight changes. There were a couple grammatical errors that we caught as we did it, and someone had suggested a switch on something, so I'll put that switch into place. And this is the one book I've created that I've said, and I'll continue to say, we will be changing it yearly. Every year we will adapt something new. We might take something out. We might add something to it. I figure it'll eventually land at 40 pages. Because it'll get to a point where I have to add 2 pages, and that'll be the actual one that will get rid of the 36 and go to 40 pages. Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's a great way for couples to have conversations. And right now, the one thing couples need to do is have a better understanding of how to talk to each other in our current culture, because I have so many friends that are in relationships that just don't talk to their partner.
Have a good night, Glenn. Yeah, I could understand that. It's funny you mentioned I just had a conversation with someone the other night, and they were a young lady. She was like, in one of the I have an illness called hydronitis suppurativa, and in one of the groups where we talk about this illness, they one girl, she was saying that she was considering getting really, really, really close to asking her husband for a divorce. And I tried my best to talk her down out of it. Like, hey, because she was upset because there's no intimacy in their relationship anymore because of the illness that she has. So I was able to hopefully talk her down. But yeah, they don't want to talk. It's like if she maybe just sit down and talk to each other about that type of stuff. Maybe you won't be so unhappy, because some people just don't know how you feel. And I seen in your book you have pretty much everything listed from everything. So it is informative, and it can help somebody. Yeah. For some reason here, I didn't mute you, but it says your mic is muted. It said you muted yourself.
I did mute myself.
Okay.
You said what now?
And as a hopper was supposed to hear you yourself.
Because I can hear me through your mic. But I said I'm gonna have to get Rob's book.
Sure you will.
Well, when do you need the monster books, by the way, since we're going to talk about this anyway?
Very soon.
When I send you the monster books, I'll slip in a copy for you and Lola.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
I'll talk about it on my show if you don't mind.
No, not at all. I love advertising.
Let me put we have 2 questions tonight, so I'm going to put those up on the screen here. Here we go. Yeah. Catching coronavirus at a con is the last of my worries. I have a better chance of catching crabs during the after party. Carl S. Thanks for writing again, Carl.
And Carl, start hanging out with better girls.
Yeah. Or guys, you don't know what he's into.
That's
Yeah.
true. Stop scraping the bottom, my friend. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, what Carl is referring to is the fact that people are suggesting that Emerald City Comic Con people are canceling from that show. It's funny. It looks like a friend of mine pointed it out to me uh, just a couple hours ago. She said, all the professional artists are pulling out of the show. None of the indie artists are. And they're
Yeah.
like, we don't have health insurance, and we got to eat. Screw it. But all the professional artists are like, nope, not going.
Well, I mean, it's
Yeah.
not worth the risk.
Some of the vendors too.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a comic book shop pulled out today too.
You got to understand. I mean, I know that. I mean, for you especially, Varian, you got to worry about that stuff for your health.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't
Especially
afford.
for him.
Yeah, you can't afford that hit. And I reached out to someone today, and I'm not going to mention who, 'cause it's a medical thing, but I was like, hey, make sure you're still going. Make sure you're taking hand sanitizer. Make sure you're taking something because of the medical condition. And I mean, I think I'm a healthy guy besides being a cripple. The crippling just affects my sleep, so it takes me longer to heal. But I don't think that this virus would necessarily be life threatening to me or even my 5-year-old. But I have family members who have had heart attacks, haven't had, but have asthma. I worry about giving it to them. You know what I mean? So now it's like, well, do I want to see my family for the next 20 days? Every show I go to, well, I have to be on quarantine for 20 days for my family. What if I bring it into my community and I'm the reason that they get sick and God forbid something happens? So, I mean, I know it's a little bit of hysteria, but do you want to be the reason someone gets hurt?
Right. It's kind of.
He just had an asthma attack tonight.
Yeah.
Before the show.
Yeah.
I think that people need to take the virus a little bit more serious than they are.
Yeah. Now they're saying that it can spread through the cash that we exchange.
Yeah, I saw that. They figured out that's how it started to go through in China, and they think that's a precursor to what's going on in Washington right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to do a big show with cash in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think Reed Pop's making a mistake going ahead. I know that they could lose a lot of money for it, but I think their reputation would get a lot more devastated. And we don't even know what happened with C2E2 yet. C2E2 could have set the virus out, and we won't know for another week or two until, because it's a 20-day turnaround period.
Yeah, I got a friend that's sick right now, and I don't want putting their business out there, but yeah, they're sick right now. So after C2E2 came home ill.
Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah. They're hoping that it's just, I just got sick at the con, but.
Well, con card's a real thing. That should be investigated by the CDC. And also that horrible disease that people have where they're unable to put a deodorant under their arm. At Comic-Con. And they're always the ones that want to talk to you about My Little Pony for an hour.
You're going to sit here and listen.
No, you're lucky. I get the ones that want to give me hugs.
I have a free Hugs and Spikes line, but I choose as the proprietor who gets the hug.
Yeah, sorry, sir, you can't. You're not eligible for the hugs. No hugs for you. Do you think though that this, again, as a publisher, hold on, I'm gonna mute you for a second. As a publisher, I've run across some shipping errors now. Shipping delay. I won't say errors, but shipping delays. And I mentioned this on another show. I think I mentioned on IndieVolt last night that I can't ship them. I can't get my books because they can't ship them, and I understand that. And my hands are tied. But and I think that we might start seeing that in a couple of months with the bigger publishers who can't quickly maneuver their printing to Canada or elsewhere, and by then who knows if those places are affected and aren't shipping, but we faced things before we couldn't. I mean, I don't think so. I remember SARS. I'm not sure if SARS was as scary as this.
No, For the record, I was watching John Oliver today.
Mm-hmm.
This has killed more people than any one of those epidemics beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So this has officially killed more people. I mean, grain of salt, of course, because it is still just 2%.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, that's still enough to be concerning, right?
It's funny you see those memes that said, was it 17, 20, 18, 20, 19, 20, 2020. Here we go, another plague, another, the 20s always gives us some type of plague that wipes through. It's on a clock, I guess. It's on a scheduled clock. It has to come through and wipe us out. Which, maybe a good thing. Robert, would you be going to see? Would you be going to Emerald City, or would you cancel?
No. Honestly, right now, Emerald City. Also, because I'm doing a show in Florida, but they do say that the heat is a detractor from this disease, and we have a lot of old people anyway. So if it gets to Florida, we're not in good standing. It's just going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be no way to stop it. And old people love to touch children. I don't understand it. It bothers me. But they'll always come over and they'll pet my son like he's an animal that they're never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wonderful. Thank you for the new disease that you brought from up north. Appreciate you so much. But
I deal with it all the time.
Yeah. But Washington, with them having so many deaths and that being such a populated show, I think that it's easy to say this without having skin in the game, of course. I didn't buy a hotel. I didn't buy a table. So now I'm saying this. I would have really hoped that the convention would have shut down and made negotiations to move it. Because if the convention itself, this is a little thing a lot of people don't realize. If the convention cancels, then if you had insurance or took the travel insurance, all your money will get given to you, refunded to you. But if you don't have the convention and they still go open and no one shows up, you just lose all that money. Because how many people are now going to avoid that show? Because they're canceling things in Florida now, in Miami, music festivals, in Orlando, gatherings. And yes, I do think this is an overreaction a little bit right now, but this overreaction could stop it from being a mandatory thing.
Yeah. I mean, I got an event I got to go to in a week, and I'm wondering if they're gonna actually do it because, it's WWE. And now I've been seeing reports that there's talk about canceling WrestleMania 36.
Yeah, or having it at a different location with at a smaller venue that's more controllable. Was the last thing I heard, that they'll pull out of Tampa and they'll have it at the Full Sail in Florida, where they do NXT. So it'd be under a smaller amount of people. And everyone would still get the pay-per-view. And I would understand it as a fan. I would forgive it instantly and say they did the right thing. And it's even more troubling because Tampa now has the virus.
Yeah.
Officially confirmed. So we have 4 weeks until that. 4 or 5 weeks, I think, now. So we're going to have to pay attention a lot. Let's hope it goes away.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
The good news is Florida's been hot. We've had 80 and 90-degree days.
Oh, lucky you.
Well, that's going to help us definitely stop the progression of it down here.
Yeah.
And normally I'd be mad in March because March we're still supposed to have comfortable nights. But with this disease or virus coming around, I'm very happy that the heat is back. But then you have to worry about mosquitoes because now you don't know if this can be transmitted by mosquitoes. So this could be something that goes into summer. I had West Nile. West Nile was not a joke. That really screwed with me for weeks of my life. So, and this is said to linger. This is one of those things that will linger in your body. And we just got over the flu here, so our immune systems are compromised. So even I'm nervous about it. And if anyone who's not nervous about it just isn't thinking beyond their ego. This is a moment where people are dying and getting sick. It is scary, and it's supposed to be scary. And if we don't react to it being scary, that's how the Black Plague got around. A bunch of guys going, I'm okay. I'll be fine. Let's go out tonight.
I see the meme. It's people with a fever laying in bed with the mouth in their mouth. It's like little Pikachu. People with the coronavirus, and it's Ash running, and I will travel across the land. Why are you out here spreading your illness, sir? Next question here, or statement. I don't know if they're really questions or just statements. At this point, it comes from Germs, who says, "I'd pay good money to spend the night at a convention or otherwise with Psylocke or Ramona Flowers. Why hasn't some industrious young cosplayer took up this enterprise? The
They
enterprise,
have.
the enterprise of prostitution."
Well,
They
in
have.
Vegas, they have. If you actually look up in Vegas, there's a convention where you can sleep with the cosplay models. Just know your local laws. And come on, let's be honest, that's happening. That's happening. Here's the truth, buddy. You don't have enough money. That's what it is. You don't have, I'm sorry, I don't have enough money either. If you have enough money, yes, you can have that night anytime you want. Play the lottery, buddy. Good luck.
Well, the girls I wrote into you, they were cheap.
There were some girls that wrote in to Indigo back in August of last year during Wizard World Chicago, and they were doing massages. Though they didn't say they were.
It was the phrasing that they used, though. You could tell what they were up to.
The phrasing was questionable.
Yeah. But they were like 150.
No, 250.
Was it 250 for both of them?
250 for duos.
Yeah. 250 for duos.
I don't know.
You
Maybe
can wear any costume you want.
I don't get it. I don't understand why people. And again, maybe it's just because I've discovered something no one else knows about Google, where you can get free porn every day of the week. I don't understand why people would pay for people to take their clothes off in cosplayers. Like, I mean, they're just cosplayers. What's the interest there? You know what I mean?
There's a huge interest.
I guess so. I guess it just.
I get a lot of requests to do certain characters, but I haven't done it yet.
Look, listen.
Hey, make the money any way you can. I'm a big fan of strippers making money. I respect strippers. I would date a porn star. I might have actually been dating a porn star recently. That's a whole different story. I have no problem with the women or even men cashing in on this enterprise. I just don't understand why you'd spend money on that. I'd rather spend money on a person that I connect with. But that's just me. I guess maybe I'm old-fashioned. I'm more 1920s than 2020s.
I think that
you can unmute yourself. People can hear you.
They can hear me.
Okay.
I think that with these girls, or the attraction to that for some people is, oh, I get to be with that character that I really, really like, and I get to be a Baroness or Lady J or whoever it is. I I couldn't do it, but I'm not gonna hate against anybody who is doing it, including Germs, who apparently wants to do it. More power to you, Germs.
Oh no, help us keep the economy going. By all means, how you want to spend your money, buddy. It isn't for me. I'm not eager to pay for that. You know, I'm more simple. I want to buy comic books and I want to buy cool action figures, and that's where I'll spend my money.
Let me tell you something I've seen recently at Comic-Con here, and I don't know if it's just in my area, because these conventions were about, I mean, I can get to both of them in less than 30 minutes. They probably were like 15 minutes apart, both about 30 minutes from my house, though. I seen a young man. He comes into the con selling his art to anybody, other exhibitors. He buys an attendee ticket, a 3-day ticket, whatever it is. And he's walking on his portfolio and he's selling his artwork. Again, to attendees, may come to your table, see if you like any of his art, offer to sell it to you. That's fine. That's what he does. I mean, I don't know if it's fine, but that's what he does. And then the other day, when I was at Great Lakes Comic Con, there's a gentleman walking around with a table strapped to his back, and he's doing. Now, listen to this. Trying to get you mad. said he does free cosplayer photo
Sketches.
sketches. So he will sketch any cosplayer for free. And I've seen him. He stopped in the middle of the aisle, started drawing a cosplayer, started, sketching them out, and he would stop in the middle of the aisle, set his table up, and start going at it. Is that offensive to? In my opinion, it's offensive to artists who have bought a table or guests who have been called to the show. It's offensive to the promoter of the show. But do you think that as a exhibitor, a guest should maybe went over to him and said, "Hey, what you're doing isn't cool. You should buy a table and come do that"?
Oh, I would say something. Oh, I'm that guy. I'm the guy who was like, I want to be friends with my neighbors. Now I show up to a show and I'm like, listen, buddy, where's that going? I need to know where you're putting your stuff so I can set up the right way. I'm not trying to be rude, but let's get off on the right foot. Let's not bullshit each other. You're over on my side. How are we going to handle this? Do you mind if I push something on my side? Maybe I take a turn right here and we work it out. Some guy walking with cosplayers. I'm like, I was sitting next to cosplayers and it was a horrible experience for me, but I guarantee you it was a horrible experience for them too, because they were stuck next to me. I was like, turn down the music. And one of them said something under his breath, and I said, I heard that. Do you want me to come over and explain why you're rude? And everyone was like, oh, shit. I'm sorry, but if you're coming to set up to hit on cosplayers and build up a career, and you're going to put a table in the middle of the room, I'm going to go over to your table and start putting my stuff on it and selling from your table to prove the point. And we know what you're doing. And I'm like, oh, I thought this was any rule goes anywhere. So I'm just going to set up right here now and sell from your table. You don't have a problem with that, right? I'm just going to put my stuff right on top of where you're drawing. No, that's not fair. Now you get it. Get the fuck out. If I were the promoter, though, I mean, and that goes with the cosplayers, too. And I know the hate mail, so put up the hate mail email. Cosplayers who are trying to charge money for actual pictures being taken of you. You need to do this thing and look it up. It's on Google. It's called reality. I need you to check it. Go to Facebook, check into reality, because you're dressing up as someone else's creation. There's nothing special about it. Yes, you might look gorgeous. Yes, God might have endowed you, or a doctor who gave you fake boobs have endowed you with an ability to make money. God bless you, make your money, but don't do it at a convention. No one's there to pay for you. I've seen it go down now, and it's ugly. There are people who are like, why would I pay for that? And then the bickering started. And that's only going to make all conventions more awkward. And you're going to have nerdy guys who are going to take a picture and they're going to be like, okay, $5, like they do in New York. And it's going to be awkward. I mean, I grew up in New York and I had a character come up and they're like, you want to take a picture with the Minion? And I was like, no. And they started taking a picture of my son. And I'm like, look, I grew up here. Do not tread on me. I was like, it's time for you to go away. And they went away, to their credit. But like, I thought I was going to get in a fist fight with a Minion and be on the news. Because my son is like 1 at the time, and there's this big Minion that's dirty. It's not even like a clean amusement. And I'm like, stay away from my little boy. Get close to my son. You're about to see, the dark side.
There were people who were mad about that. They did not like the fact this guy was walking around and he has a table on his back, and he's got his,
he's got a little fold-up stool too.
Yeah,
that he sits on.
Too. Yeah, so he'll just stop it, and it's free cosplay sketches. It's not, free. Hey, you saw me, get a free table, get a free sketch. He's not sitting over at a table away from that. He's walking the aisles. Well,
he's trying to be, a Manning type of guy. Attractive, being very Manning, like, hey, come look at me. And that's all that is. He's trying to hit on girls. And he's trying to get his name out there. And if the girls like his art, they'll share it on Instagram. I understand the business, and I don't mind the hustle. I mind when your hustle gets in the way of my business.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's what it is. Don't let your hustle cross my stream. Stand outside. Stand in the lobby. Do it there. Go be somewhere. I used to hand out business cards, but I wouldn't hand out business cards in front of someone else's table. I would do it in an escalator. And if I got asked to not do it, I wouldn't do it. And I wouldn't do it the rest of the show. But, we all got to hustle, but that's not hustle. That's just making you come ahead of everyone else. That's a quick way for everyone to hate you the rest of your days.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true. And we always say it's a small industry, but I believe that, you do stuff like that, somebody's going to start looking for you. And, he might not be able to pull that at a Motor City Comic Con or.
He should be able to. Not without an apology. And someone needs to, you need a Randy. Someone like Randy needs to go up to him, grab him by the back of the neck, walk him outside, yell at him for a good 15 minutes about why he's unprofessional, and tell him how to be professional, and invite him back next year when he gets a table.
Yeah.
Because some of these people just don't get it. Because cosplayers have put a crack in what was a business model for a con. Because now these cosplayers and even crafters, and I said it 2 years ago and everyone thought I was crazy, but sure enough, they are causing people to not respect IPs, to not respect the tables, to not. How many times have you been at a show and cosplayers set up to take pictures in the middle of an aisle instead of being like, oh, excuse me, let's take this outside the aisle. I'll be happy to pose for you, but I don't interfere with anyone in this, or give me 5 minutes and I'll do it at the end of the aisle. And I've seen cosplayers do this, and I respect the hell out of the ones that do that. That go, no, I don't want to interfere. I will be over there with you in 10 minutes. Well, you can wait for me. And you can see those are the cosplayers that are like, no, I dressed up because I love this character. I don't mind, but I come first, and I want to talk to these creators. They're usually the cosplayers who will buy from you. And that's what it is. Like, people don't understand the passionate, the cosplayers are very passionate and who are very understanding and want to work with the community. I have no problem with. There are very many of them out there who dress up because they love a character. And then you get the ones who are like snobby and who will put their drinks on your table to take a picture on top of your comic. And I remember I told one girl, I was like, so you buying that comic? And she's like, what? And I was like, yeah, you just put something watery on top of a comic. What do you think that does to it? And sure enough, I made her buy the comic. I got on it, and it was awkward, and my friends were like, oh, I didn't know how that was going to turn out. And I was like, I didn't care, because you can't care. And I guarantee you she never put down a drink on another table again without making sure it wasn't on a comic.
She probably was like, asking me by his comic.
Oh, I don't care. And I made him buy Monsters too. My one that doesn't sell always the best. So I was like, you don't even get my fetish book because you suck. You get my Monsters book because you're a monster.
Lola, is any topics that you want to bring up? I see you over there. You want to bring up a topic. I can maybe cut you off. Go ahead.
Did I?
I look like you did. I stopped because I didn't know if I was.
No, you're good. I mean, I am interested to hear Rob's story that we were supposed to talk about.
No, go ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
Oh, it's just the story of how I got approached to become someone's dominant, right? And
yeah.
So it was the beginning of February, right before that Dick story came up. That creator who's a dick, and it was right before that. So I didn't really get to do the funny anecdote about it because it was so random. So I'm going to Fort Myers, which is close to where I live. And I'm driving over a bridge and someone's calling me. And usually people call me on the Messenger app and it's something about creating a comic book or something about a show. So I try to pick up all the calls I get. Usually I don't regret it. And I didn't really regret this person's thing, but it was very awkward because I pick up and I go, hey, this is Rob. What's up? And the guy's like, oh, hey, I've been seeing you on social media. I'm really into the fetish thing and all that. And I really want to learn about it. So I want to hire you to come and, do some stuff, do whatever you want to do to me and my girl, like no holds barred. You can do anything. I'm cool. Don't worry about it. I'm straight up. Like, you can do we could talk about it. I don't mind paying for things. And I'm like, who does this guy think I am? And I'm like, one of two things. Either this is the FBI testing me, or this guy is just genuinely trying to be real cool. Because the way he was talking wasn't creepy, actually. Surprisingly, he was just down to earth. Look, this is the shit I'm into and this is the help I need. But he wasn't letting me talk. He was going off for a 15-minute conversation I had no choice but to be part of without
He might have been excited.
Yeah, he was, and I didn't want to like, and I was like, listen, I'm very educational. I'm happy to sell you my comic books, but I don't do that type of stuff. That's just not my lane. I'm not really into that. He's like, oh no, you don't even have to like do anything. I mean, like, I could just suck your dick, and it's not even a gay thing. Like, I'd be willing to do it just because we're playing and stuff. And I was like, I'm not gay. He's like, oh, neither am I. And I'm like, we have very different definitions about what being gay is. And he's like, no, my girl would be totally into it. And I'm like, well, do you want to learn how to tie up your girl, or does your girl want to tie you up? Oh, we're into anything you want to do to us. And I'm like, oh, you're not getting the point here, my friend. I was like, oh, this is, and again, he wasn't, and it was really cool because he wasn't creepy, because I've had the creepy experience. I've had the email where someone was like, if I paid you to come here, would you be willing to do what I need you to do for me? And that was the, and I was like, is this like a hit job? Like, someone? So curiosity got me on that one. And I was like, what do you want me to do? He's like, honey, you can do anything you want to me. Like, I will pay for your hotel. You come down here and you do anything you want. And I was like, this is like when I had the Fetish Babies title. So I was like, I am not gay. And another time, he's like, when the lights go off, it doesn't matter what you are, honey. It really does. It matters to me. So, like, the third actual time I've been approached, and one was at a con, and I'm telling you, this woman was like, and I don't know if she had a boyfriend or a girlfriend, because she only referred to the person as a partner, but I don't want to presume that means, a female. But she was like, oh no, I pay you for your time for the night. And she was cool though, because she was like, it does not have to be sexual. I'm not asking you to be a prostitute. If something happened naturally, that'd be fine. But if you want to come over and just show us the ropes, and she got a big smile on her face. And I'll be honest, and I'll own it. I really debated that one, but I was traveling. Like, if it wasn't for Jax, like, I was so tempted to be like, I'll do it for free. She was hot. Like, I might have gone into prostitution that night. I'll be honest. But yeah, I guess it's a side
of. Would it really be prostitution, or would you just be like a mentor?
Well, I could do the mentor thing, and people have said I should charge to mentor. I find it so awkward to think to charge about that. Like, I've thought about doing seminars and stuff, but like, I mean, with her, I would have gone for prostitution. I'll be honest. I'll give you $50. I would already be naked. I wouldn't even know what it was. Like, she was dressed like Wonder Woman. Like, this was like a fantasy for me right now. Like, this girl was like, looked like Wonder Woman from the comics. I was like, yes, please. And then there's my son in the background jumping up and down. I was like, I love you, Jax, but sometimes.
Have you covered any similar issues like that in your comic?
No, there's no easy way to handle that, and I don't want to shame anyone, because in our culture, people do get paid to be pro doms, and while I'm not for it personally, I would never again pay for that kind of connection. Apparently, I would get paid for it though, right person. But no, I'm not against people doing it. I just don't understand it, and just because I don't understand something doesn't make it wrong. I just don't particularly go for it. But we are going to talk about that part, the pro-doming and all that. I think that does have to be a conversation. So when movies like Bounding comes, they can actually read a comic, something that is actually educational. So that will be in it, but it's how do I address it without offending anyone, but actually being honest about it. Because you do get a lot of college girls who are completely clueless. I have had the 19-year-old mistress that thinks they know better than me. And understand I have over 19 years of experience studying this. So when they start telling me things, I'll rip into them. Because they'll come over and they'll try to be so dominant. I'll be like, you don't understand. I don't need to wear leather to be dominant. I just am. I was like, you're not going to intimidate me. I don't care what heels you have. I was like, I can see you don't even know what you're doing. And you're trying to bully people. And you're confusing that with dominance. And I had people like, oh, shit. You know that oh, shit look? Like that, oh, damn. Like, I totally embarrassed this chick because you don't come up to me and you go, "Oh, well, you could serve me." Fuck you. Unless you're offering to serve me McDonald's, I'm not interested, honey. Go away.
Do you think that well, first of all, has the cast of Bounding dropped their restraining order?
What?
Has the cast of Bounding dropped their restraining order?
The writers haven't, but the cast has. The writers are still pretty mad.
You didn't say it on Twitter, Rob. You didn't say it on Twitter.
Now I don't have to worry about it because I know they can't actually write anything that'll be offensive. So I mean, I know they can't write, so it'll be fine.
It'd be very interesting to see them do like a DVD and ask you to come speak on special features.
Yeah,
that'd be funny.
Oh, I would love to sit down and talk with them. Publicly have a conversation.
I remember when we were getting booth girls, and every summer I put out, a request of booth girls, kind of replenish the ones that we lost, or because some of these girls had moved, they didn't want to do it anymore, they got finicky. Well, one of the things that would happen was we'd get occasionally we get an email from someone who, hey, I'm interested, and I remember we got an email from a lady, and she was like, my daughter would be very interested. I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. How old is your daughter? And she's like, oh, she's a kid. She's little. I'm like, well, I can't use her as a booth girl. I need 18 and older, And she said, oh, well, she's interested in modeling. And the conversation quickly turned.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember getting these emails and getting real sick because the lady's like telling me what she was comfortable with her daughter doing. And I printed the emails out. Then I went to my police station. And I said, I got these emails, do something. Here's her email, track her down, go get her. They would not. The cop told me, discontinue communication immediately. And I'm like, okay, that's a no-brainer. I'll do that. That's already done. But there's a little girl possibly in trouble. I'm not gonna be able to sleep until I know she's okay. And I was told pretty much just to
leave it alone.
Yeah, leave it alone. I like to think in my heart that it was a stinging situation. The cops knew that address and said, but there's this part of me that believes that they just want to do the damn jobs.
You never know what you did. What's right. I mean, it's a hard situation, and you did what you could do. I mean, I've had that. I've had a parent come over, and I mean, she wasn't that young, like you're talking about, but their daughter was like a 17-year-old, and she wanted to be a model, and they were like, "Oh, well, you could tie her up. That's not illegal to tie her up and have her pose for pictures. She could model stuff for you." I was like, "Why just do art?" And it was a very awkward conversation because she's sitting there, standing there with her mom, and she's like looking awkward almost, like she's not totally into this, but this girl is just being like kind of like try to be put out there to get, I guess, famous, and it was very weird and awkward. So I've had a couple of people offer to model, but that was the weirdest one because I was like, well, how old are you? And she wouldn't let her daughter talk. And she said 17. So then I have to even wonder, was she 17?
Yeah.
They've
been lying her ass off.
And I was like, I thanked her. And there wasn't a situation I could have done anything because I didn't even want to take a business card. And I wanted that conversation to end because this was back when the book's title was Fetish Baby still. And this was just the wrong conversation. And I just ended it with, oh, no, we just do art. We don't do any photos. And that was the quickest way for me to get out of that. And she walked away, but I felt so bad for that girl because you don't know. Parents sometimes push things, and you hear about these young women who are in Hollywood who are forced to do things that they later regret.
Yeah.
So that is heartbreaking.
Yeah, I mean, you hear all the time that, especially nowadays, the actresses are coming forward saying that when they were young, they had to go to this producer's house and do whatever. So it's sad to hear about all that. Lola,
Yes.
you are at the you're reaching almost the conclusion of your sweet geekgasm.
I am. Everybody loves a geekgasm, though.
um, is there anything else that you and Rob want to talk about? You guys want to talk about the hoes are mad?
Hoes are always mad.
um, I wanna I would the only thing that I want to say to people for the rest of the week is understand that. I mean, as we're waiting to see what Emerald City Comic Con is going to do, as we're waiting to find out what else is going to be canceled, I'm urging people to remember that human lives are at stake here.
Mm-hmm.
People are getting sick. People are dying. Children are sick and die. This is about. This isn't about you might try to take your comic books away, your conventions away, and no one's forcing you to go anywhere. Um, so you don't have to go to that con. You can, for the most part, I'm pretty sure you can get some of your money back. Like Rob said, um, some of the travel fees are insurable. You check to see if you have insurance. Check and see that if some places may have activated insurance just because of the situation. So you don't have to go to any of those places if you just got a bad feeling. I'd also people maybe consider like I like going to the movies. I love it. Will tell you. And
He does.
I'm thinking I don't have to go to the movies this week. I got
Well,
AMC stubs.
you don't need to be going really anywhere right now
No, I couldn't
because you're all flared out.
Yeah, I couldn't if I wanted to, but it's maybe stay
People
home
need to
and,
take precautions right now.
Yeah,
It's not a joke.
the people losing their lives. This isn't about you. This is a global.
Yes.
That's it. No better time than to enjoy some nice indie comics.
Yeah, exactly. Or watch our shows.
While we can still ship them. I can tell you right now that my home is coronavirus free, and I can ship you any of my books. Just go to lastcallcomics.com and go to the shop, the brewery, pick up some books. I'll ship them right out to you.
What we have in stock, anyways.
Yeah, normally I have in stock here.
Our shipment is tied up right now.
How about you? Anybody putting in any orders? Have you noticed any orders shooting up since the virus?
I think he left us.
Sorry, I had it on mute because I was Jackson needed something real quick. I've been listening. I haven't seen a big tick up, but a lot of people are saying that things have slowed down because the virus is now making people nervous.
Mm-hmm.
They're less likely to open their wallet at the moment. And that's also something to consider with these shows going forward. Like I said, I have this show this weekend at a mall, and I'm even like 50-50 on it's $75 for the table. Is it worth my time right now? And I'm going to be debating that, listening to the Florida thing until the very last minute. And I could see myself canceling the show because it's just not worth it if I feel like it's spreading. So I am trying to actively monitor it. And like you said, it's just not worth it.
Especially because you have a little one.
Yeah. You
gotta take the kid into consideration a lot.
Yeah, you got it. And you can't live in fear. Granted, I mean, I grew up in New York. We did September 11th. We went out after September 11th, but people have to understand this isn't the same thing. This is something small you can't see coming.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is something that can affect people. You could be a carrier and hurting people, and you don't understand that. And
you did you do the forecast, the Comic-Con forecast every week. Has that been affected at all?
So far, twice already. The England shows and a France show have been canceled. Anything overseas, they're canceling. For now, America is letting things go, but that's because our economy goes on to these sporting events and all that. And so far, no one's gotten sick. You get one person who gets sick going to a sporting event or a mall, and it's going to be over. You're going to start seeing people cracking down. Malls hours might get less. I mean, look at they're now in New York. They were charging ridiculous amounts for masks, and then even the CDC says the masks aren't going to work. Stop worrying about buying masks. But people are just there's also the people who are just terrified because we've seen this. We've seen this with Sandy and Irma. When things get tight, people don't sell things. They hoard them. They buy more than they need, and they get greedy. And that's kind of what's happening. And a little bit, I think, is fear mongering. And I think there are people making profits of this. And I think some of it is, I've said this before. Suddenly, China's not protesting. So you got to kind of wonder how much of this is also spin, because we're also having this right during an election cycle. Stay at home, don't go out. Doesn't that mean less people are voting?
I seen someone selling some toilet tissue for $900.
Yes, I seen that too.
Are you? I was gonna say you're shitting, man.
Right
away. I heard it.
Yeah, but if I come across it again, I'll send it to you.
Now those people should be arrested.
Yeah.
Not even like a conversation. Just back of the car right now. Shut up.
Yeah, they're trying to take advantage of a situation.
Yeah, you're done. Shut up. Get in the car.
And pass out to everybody else.
Yeah.
Everybody take a roll.
I can understand people stocking up on like cough medicine and stuff like that. But
that's not
the grocery stores have been packed lately.
Yeah.
I seen something weird. I seen another meme, and I haven't gone to the store to check this out, and I should. Apparently, the soap aisles are bare, and it makes people wonder, what were we using before? like, were you not washing your hands before? Was that it? Was that going on? Not washing your ass? I see. All right. I got my soap. I'm good. Yeah. Right.
No, actually, we have to get you some more. You're running low.
I just found
because you have a special soap.
Yeah. I need to go to the store and get some, as a matter of fact. Special soap. Specialty.
Yeah, it's like $6 a bar.
Yeah. Rob, where can they find you online?
They can find me at theindiedevil.com, where you can find all my personal stuff. But make sure to check out indieadvocates.com, which is the Global Digital Comic-Con, and helps actually promote an environment of advocating for different indie creators. Like Varian said, we do a forecast, and we do the crowdfunding report, which is also now empowered by Kickstarter Pause, where we tell creators our opinions and actually stop videos when they get boring to us. So learn how to create a better video by checking out us clowning around and just being honest about how we feel about things that we see.
You gotta have Lola in the next one.
I'll definitely have Lola. We need Lola will be great. She'll have no nonsense. Yeah. I like Lola. She'll be like, all right, enough.
That's my problem. I don't have a filter. I speak my mind too much.
Enough of this video. I'm very.
I was told to be nicer today.
Yeah. I'm Varian Grant, kid_V on Twitter. Varian Grant, Let's Call Comics, indievolt.com, whenweriot.com. It's my personal website. One place you can find me online. I'm on Instagram too, but I forgot what that is. Anyway, yeah.
And you got the Breakfast Buzz tomorrow, hopefully.
Breakfast Buzz tomorrow.
If he's feeling well.
If I'm feeling well. So Breakfast Buzz is a game time decision. I may be late. But we'll see how it goes. But let's see. What we had. Want to jump into last minute?
You better.
We have another guest.
He says I better feel well. Yeah.
What do you mean you're not feeling well?
I'm gonna get some sleep and wake up and.
He's not feeling good.
I'm having flares, so.
He's having bad flares, and he had an asthma attack earlier.
Oh, it's not good.
Yeah, but I'll be fine for the Breakfast Buzz, I feel, and then after that I'll.
Yeah, we're gonna call a night here on GeekGasm so he can rest up.
Yeah.
But you can introduce yourself and tell us where we can find you.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I'm just some weirdo that walked in off the street.
No, you're not. You're interesting.
I saw the link. I just I pushed the link and suddenly I'm here.
It's magic.
It is magic. Randy Zimmerman. You can find me at the Zim Geek channel. I do all sorts of stuff revolving around comics. So
All that stuff. All that
that's
stuff.
independent stuff. Been doing it for years. So
And you'll be on the Breakfast Buzz tomorrow.
I'll be on the Breakfast Buzz tomorrow if as long as Varian gets up.
Yeah, I'll be up. Yeah. I think so. We're gonna go off air here. We'll be hanging out, talking all kind of crap after the show. So
Thanks
we'll
all our
guys.
listeners. How
I'm
many
here to
listeners
talk
were we at,
crap.
real quick, on the radio?
Mhm. Yeah. Right now, 810 on the radio, Indigo Radio. Thank you for listening.
They're
Awesome.
abandoning us.
Yeah, thank you for listening in Japan. Japan is the highest listening audience.
That's awesome. That's
we love
different.
you. Stay safe. Stay clean.
Yes.
Yes.
Stay healthy.
That's for everybody.
That's for everybody.
Here we go. See you guys soon. GeekGasm's back here live next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Indie Vote live 9 p.m. on Tuesday Eastern Standard Time, and then Breakfast Bus at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday.
Have a good night, guys. Thank you.
In the classic words of Groucho Marx, hello, we must be going.
Night, everyone.